Welcome to the CCI MPOWR training for new circle sites. Today we're going to learn how to enter a new circle leader into the system and how to take a circle leader progress report and enter it into the system. We're going to start by pressing the launch application button here on the launch application page. That will take us to the login page and bring up username and password. I find it's usually best if I hit the maximize button and enlarge this to the full screen. It gives me a little more real estate for viewing the progress report as we move through the process here. I'm going to log in with the username and password provided by the Circles data coach when I signed up for the training. And that will bring us to the first page, which is the main menu. At this point, I would ask that you verify the fact that it says Welcome Training 1, and that the logged in provider is the Circles test site. When you actually log into the live site, the welcome will have your name, and the logged in provider should be the name of your site, usually city and state. Once you've confirmed this information, you're ready to start the self-sufficiency plan. You can click here, and this will bring you to the search screen. Once you get to the search screen, we're going to enter in the family's last name, in this case Baker. I press enter, and it comes up that no records are available to display. Now, when you're searching for somebody, less is more. And what that means is, if I'm entering in Baker, and I enter in BAKER, it will not find anybody who has anything slightly different from that. If I enter in only BA, it will find Baxter, it will find Baker, it will find Bartell. It will find anything that has BA at the beginning of the name. So in that case, less entry will return more answers for you. Once I'm sure that Mr. Baker is not in the system here, I can hit the Add a Circle Leader, and it will bring up the Add a Circle Leader screen here, at which point I can add in Kent, and his birthday is 9/14 of 1965. And you'll notice that as soon as I tab or move out of the date of birth field, the age automatically calculates at the end of that row. In addition to entering the date of birth, I can also enter in the circle coach's name, which in this case is going to be training 1, which is me. And if I wanted to, I could enter the referred by, and we have several possible ways that the person was referred to. At the bottom of the screen, we have some extended intake questions. These are questions that are demographic in nature that do not tend to change, so there's no need to update them every time a person takes a Circle Leader progress report. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through here and race. We're going to say he's Caucasian. Ethnicity, we'll say he's not Hispanic. Missed that one. Gender, he's male. Status of high school education, graduated from high school. Any college, anything beyond high school education. Some some college or technical training. And then is the person enrolling in Circles. This is designed to help us distinguish between people who are just taking Getting Ahead and those people that are actually planning on continuing in the Circles program. Yes, this one is. And then finally, which Getting Ahead session are you a part of? This allows sites to track the different Getting Ahead sessions that they've offered and actually look and compare those that attended session 1 versus those that attended session 5 and see if there's any reporting differences between those. In this case, we're going to say it's session 1, and we save. At this point, the system asks us to add an address. We can come in here and add an address. You'll notice that I misspelled the word Broadway. I also did not capitalize Rockford, and I took the postal code, and you'd have no way of knowing it, but that is an incorrect postal code. Now, when I come over here to validate the address, you'll notice that we go to Google Maps, and Google automatically validates the address, spells Broadway correctly, properly capitalizes, and formats everything, and then inserts the correct zip code. At this point, you can either save if the address that you typed in is correct and the one that Google comes up with is not, or if the Google address is correct, you can hit select and it will save it all formatted and in the proper format there. At that point, you can add contact information. We're going to add a home phone number, and again, 815-555-1212, and we'll make sure that it's checked that it's the active phone number and that it's the primary phone. We save that, and we can press continue. At this point, it'll ask us to either case manage or to take the survey. We call the progress report, the Circle Leader progress report, a survey, and so in this case, we're going to take the survey. Because Mr. Baker has not taken a survey before, this will bring us to the first question of the survey, and we'll start taking the survey. The first question is the consent form that is saying, yes, I'm giving consent for this information to be used. If you answer no to the consent question, it will save it and exit the survey, and you'll be done with this particular survey. There will be no further information to enter. However, we encourage you to encourage your circle leaders to all fill out the survey, as the information that's gathered helps us to gain funding and gain acceptance for the circles movement on a national basis. If we select yes, click save and exit. Now we want to take the survey again. Now it brings us back here. Okay, when we finish taking or finished answering the consent granted, we can click next, and it will take us to the next page of the survey. Now we fill in the survey date. This was done on the 15th. This is a before getting ahead. Now you'll notice that as you fill out surveys for an individual, each time you come in here, the previously filled out surveys will be missing from this list. So once we fill out the before getting ahead, when you come back in, you will not be able to do another before getting ahead. It will just allow you to fill out those that the person does not have already filled out. So in this case, the before getting ahead. Are you part of a matched circle with at least 2 allies? No. And what is your major goal in your plan to become self-sufficient? This allows us to distinguish between those that have an employment focus and those that have an education focus. As we've looked at the data that we're gathering, we have found that there are some patterns that are starting to emerge based on whether somebody has an employment focus or an education focus. And this just helps us to distinguish what a person's focus is. Now, this might change as a person moves through the process, too. So somebody might start off with an education focus, but once they finish their education, then they move to an employment focus. In this case, we're going to say it's an education focus, and I'm going to click next. Now, the next page is the financial page. Here we're going to start by entering the monthly wages of the circle leader, which happens to be $1,500. And we're going to look at the average wages for the last 6 months. This allows us to deal with seasonal jobs and those people that have been unemployed and then reemployed, so that we get a better feel for what the average is over the last 6 months. Now, in this case, with my circle leader, it's going to be $1,200. And then we move into the income, benefits, assets, and debts for all members of the household. So now we're going to enter the information for the entire household. Earned income is $1,800. Child support is 0. Social Security income is 0, and military benefits is 0. Now, as you're going through here, you do need to make an entry for each field. You have to enter a 0, or you have to enter an amount in for each of the fields. Now, they're receiving $182 in food stamps. They're receiving $150 a month in public cash assistance. They're receiving no unemployment benefits and no other public benefits. We have a Pell Grant that is providing $1,500 a month. There's no student loans and no veterans. In addition, we can come down here to checking account. We have $15 in the checking account. We have nothing in the savings account. We have no other investments. Now, if somebody has a home or has a car, we want to look at the equity that they have in that car or that vehicle and apply that to their account at this point. So, if somebody has a house, maybe it's a $70,000 house, but they've only made $7,000 worth of payments on it. Then you'd enter the $7,000 in because that's the equity that they have. That's the real asset. Um, the whole value of the house does not become their asset. And then we look at their individual development account. In this case, he has no money in that. We can look at rent and mortgages that are overdue. We have $600 overdue there. Overdue utilities and other bills. We got $150 there. And overdue credit card balances. We have $1,000 there. Unpaid medical bills. Nothing. Unpaid student loans. If there's other debt, we can explain what it is here. And we can type in the amount here. It's going to be $120. When we're done with a page, we just hit next, and it moves on to the next page. Now, if at some point you need to exit a page without continuing, you can hit the save and exit, and it will save the answers that you've put in up to this point and take you out of the survey. And when we're done, I'll show you how you can get back in to complete a survey once you've exited. In this case, if I hit next and try to continue without finishing the survey, you'll notice that it comes up that all the fields on this page are required and won't let me continue until I've filled those in. So, currently enrolling in an education program. If I answer yes, no. Answer yes. It should bring up a field that says, oh, what are you studying? And I can put in here that I'm studying electronics. And how long does the program last? It's a 6-month program. How much have you completed? 51 to 75%. And what will you receive? You'll receive a certificate of completion. Have you completed a program? No. If I answered yes to that, it would do the same thing, pop up the same. What did you study, and what type of certificate did you receive? If I say no, it disappears again. Employment status, I'm unemployed. I've got 0 hours worked each week. Child support, I'm not eligible. In times of trouble, I have the following number of people I can depend on. We're going to say 3. Next. This page asks a lot of questions about a person's self-sufficiency plan, their stability right now in life, and if they're volunteering or if they're what types of services they're receiving. So we can come here and do you have a plan? No. Do you have an saving or individual development account? No. Safe place to live? Yes. Reliable means of transportation? No. Valid driver's license? Yes. Insurance coverage? Yes. Do you have health insurance? If you answer yes, then it asks you what kind of health insurance. Is it public or private, or is it a mix of public and private? In this case, we're only public. How many children ages 0 to 5 are in your home? How many children ages 6 to 17 are in the home? Do all the children in the home have health insurance? If you say yes, then it's going to ask you what type they have. And in this case, we've got a mix of public and private. And then, have you donated food or clothing? Yes. Have you been a volunteer? No. No hours served. Have you received food or clothing? Yes. Have you obtained a car? No. We go on through here with all the other questions. No. 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 And if they had examined their credit score, the last question here would answer what is their credit score. Once you're done, you hit next, And this will take you to a page where we're going to define both the goals that they have used to accomplish in the last 6 months and the goals that they're looking to accomplish in the next 6 months. Takes just a second to save. Now, one of the goals I've set for the next 6 months is to get a better job. And during the last 6 months, I enrolled in school. When you're done, you can save and exit, which will save the values that you've put in but not complete the survey, or you can complete the survey. If you complete the survey, it will indicate that the survey has been completed, and it will include it in further results as you're looking at the results of the for your site. So now I've saved it. You can see here that it now lists it. It's got the Circles test site. It's got the before getting a head report. It's been completed. It's got the date that it was created. And if I wanted to, I could edit it, or I can select it and view the questions on it and actually print those out. Now, if I was to take another survey here, this would do another Circle Leaders Progress Report, and it would then fill out and allow me to complete that Circle Leaders Progress Report. For now, when you're done, you can exit the self-sufficiency plan. You can log the visit. You can tell it that you spent 25 minutes working with this person and save. And now it takes you back to the search screen. At this point, I could again search for Baker. We would find him in here. I could select him. If I go to survey, this is where I'll find the progress report. And now I'd be ready to edit or to take a new progress report at this time. This concludes the training on the Circle Leaders Progress Report and entering a new Circle Leader. If you have questions, you can contact David Bash as the Circles Data Coach, or myself, Steve Kennedy, as the CCI support person, and we'll be glad to help you try and solve any problems that you're having. There are 2 other videos to watch that deal with the self-sufficiency plan. If you want to take a look at progressing into the self-sufficiency plan and what that looks like, that's available for you too. Thank you for the time, and hopefully you've learned something today that will help you as you progress as a Circles coach. Thank you.